Hello and welcome back to more Final Fantasy XIV with Cooperoo. Now when we left off we had just finished Temptara Deepcroft and so now we're just gonna go turn in the quest to Mother Mione. If I can do something other than clicking on my map. So let's go turn this in. Alright. Let's see what she has to say. Welcome back, Cooperoo. I'm reliably informed that your foray into the Deepcroft was a success. Nor did I expect anything less. Bataran's ringing endorsement left me in little doubt as to your capabilities. Even so, you are to be commended. Lord Lewin asked me to pass on his thanks. I must say it's something of a relief to be able to call upon such a capable adventurer. Suddenly, death has become an ever more common occurrence within our fraternity of late. Times being what they are, the guild is constantly inundated with petitions, and we are hard-pressed to find enough hands to deal with them all. Well, this means no shortage of work for able souls such as yourself. It also provides ample opportunity for the inexperienced to overreach themselves with predictable consequences. As if to illustrate the point. Javir's gone, and it's all your fault. If it hadn't taken you an age to heal him, he would still be alive. But I tried. He bolted out of range before I could finish the spell. He shouldn't have been so hard-pressed in the first place. We should have done more to lighten his burden. Bah, to the hells with this pathetic excuse for a party. I'm leaving, and it'd be too soon if I never see your faces again. Goodbye and good riddance. I'm leaving as well. I doubt this comes as any surprise, but I never liked you. I only suffered you for your healing, but you couldn't even do that one thing. Cruel though this may sound, you brought this upon yourself. Oh, and by way of some parting advice, get rid of Averid's head. Bury it, cremate it, do whatever the hells you want with it, but for God's sake, stop carrying it around. It's just get rid of it, alright? Wait, don't leave me alone, please. I'm sorry, Avir. Please forgive me. That party, actually, remember them, because they come into play later on in the storyline. Scenes like this have become all too common. This makes a dozen times in half as many days. Now you see why I'm grateful to adventurers for your experience. Of your experience, I can send women like you on a mission without worrying that you might not return. Well, not as much as at any rate. Speaking of missions, I would entrust you with another. About a bell ago, I received a message from my counterpart in Ul'dah. She seeks the services of a reliable adventurer, and you are nothing if not reliable. Can speak correctly. If you think you might be interested in the task, say the word and I will be glad to share the details with you. I have a funny feeling I'm going to have to do another story quest. So, I want this one. Okay. I have a very funny feeling we're going to have another dungeon that we're going to have to go do. So, yeah. So you're not averse to taking a little trip. Wonderful. As I mentioned earlier, the request comes to us from the Adventurers Guild in Ul'dah. Once you arrive, seek out Momodi, the proprietress of the Quicksand. Think of her as the Sultanate's version of myself. Chances are she'll send you into the midst of danger, but I have every confidence that you will pull through unscathed. Now off you go, Cooperoo, and good luck. So now we are back off to Ul'dah, which is really, really good. And as I said before, there's a lot of the Easter stuff going around because the Easter event is going on right now. So even like the music changes in an area depending on where you are. And I missed the first set of stairs. Son of a gun. Okay. Ah, that's a wall. Welcome to the quicksand, friend. I'm a tad busy right now, if you wouldn't mind showing yourself to... Oh, it's you, Cooperoo. And there I was, spouting the same tired line. Miona sent word that you'd be reporting for duty. She also made a point of calling you the adventurer of the moment. That ain't no small praise coming from her. But you didn't come all the way here to listen to my prattle. Doubtless you're eager to get started, so let's talk business, shall we? The petitioner ought to be arriving any moment now. God's almighty, another second under that sun, and I would have been set afire. A tankard of ale, if you would be so kind. Papa Jean! Excellent timing, Papa Jean. It just so happens the adventurer who'll be handling your petition is here. Oh, why, if it isn't my good friend Cooperoo. It does my spirit well to know that you are the one who will be helping us. Mayhap you'd like to apprise Cooperoo of her mission. Yes, of course. The petition in question was submitted by an acquaintance of mine at Amagina and Sons Mineral Concern. It relates to an unfortunate development at Copperbell Mines. To be plain, giants have seized control of the place. These giants are of the clan known as the Hecatan Shares. I hope I said that right. Fearsome creatures who were sealed within the deepest depths of the mines during the bygone Thorn dynasty. Alas, it seems they have managed to break through the layer of rock which served to imprison them, and now prowl the tunnels where the miners ply their trade. The creatures are justifiably angry about their treatment at the hands of our ancestors, and their presence has forced the suspension of all mining activities on the site. It's no wonder they're angry. Didn't the Thorn dynasty come to an end over 300 years ago? You know your history well, milady. The people of that age used the Hecton shares to work their mines. By way of enchanted helms, they were able to bind the ferocious creatures to their will. But as is oft the way of such tales, these enchantments eventually failed, and the slaves rose up against their masters. In a desperate bid to contain the unbridled fury of the Hecton shares, our ancestors induced the collapse of the mine's lowermost levels. So it was that the great giant revolt was ended, buried beneath 100,000 tons of rock. Well, now, that's got me thinking. I seem to recall there being an article about Copperbell in the Mithril Eye a fortnight or so ago. It said the mines were being reopened so as to meet the rising demand for building materials. Like as not, our boys dug a bit too deep and freed the giants. Gods, to think the poor creatures are still alive and kicking after 300 centuries. That's a long time to nurse a grudge. They must be seething. Indeed, and that makes them a danger to us all. There will be no mining at Copperbell so long as they remain. For the sake of both peace and prosperity, they must be subdued. This is the task which we would have you to undertake. I will not deny the mission will be rife with danger, but our need is great, and so I beg you, put an end to this sorry business. Gods bless you. I feared you might have reservations, but I assure you it is for the best. In case you don't know, Copperbell mines are in the western Thanalan. Do take care, you hear? And one last thing before you depart. An employee of Amagina and Sons is presently at the quicksand. The fellow's name is Painted Mesa. He knows Copperbell mines well. It may behoove you to seek his counsel. So just as I said, there is another dungeon we're going to have to go into. So this episode is most likely going to be a very short episode. I do apologize for that. Looking for Painted Mesa, you found him. So you're the adventurer who's volunteered to deal with the mess down in Copperbell, are you? You've got guts, miss. I just hope you've got skills to go with them. 'Cause things ain't pretty down there. I cannot say that word for the life of me. I'm not even going to try anymore. Left the place in a right state, and nearly a week after mining resumed. I don't know if you know this, but Copperbell was old when the second Ul dynasty was young, and it was abandoned centuries ago. If it hadn't been for the shortage of materials needed for the rebuilding effort, the concern would never have thought to reopen it. We knew full well about the giants beforehand, but the project went ahead anyway. I mean, nothing could possibly survive being buried under a mountain's worth of rock for 3 centuries, right? Wrong. Our miners dug up more than they bargained for, one swing of the pickaxe too many, and they found themselves in the company of giants. Unless we can subdue them, the nation's glorious recovery will grind to a halt for want of aught to build with. The stone torches keep and watch over the entrance in case the giants fancy some sunlight and fresh air. Some of them will be able to show you the way in, and the hope for the nation's rested on you, friend. Best of luck. So now we got to go out to Copperbell Mine, and the easiest way to get there is if we go ahead and teleport out to Horizon. It's the closest aetheryte that we have to Copperbell Mines. There's been an incident inside Copperbell Mines. We are having to ensure that its effects are contained, but for your own safety, I suggest you stay well away from here. What? You're the adventurer who's volunteered to quell the heck on... I said I wasn't going to say that word. I didn't think that Papa Shan would be able to find someone so quickly, if at all. The giants are content to wreak havoc inside the mines for now, but it's only a matter of time before they think to come outside. The sooner you see to them, the better. Make ready as best you can and enter at will. And now here we are at the end of a very short episode, I'm sorry to say. When we come back, we're going to be covering Copperbell Mines, because, and I'll just say it again, because the dungeons are so long, I cannot have them connected with any other video. They have to be a video on their own. So I do apologize that this is such a short video. I wish there could have been more that I could have thrown in here with it, like I did last time. But unfortunately, I'm going to have to go ahead and call this video at an end for now, and then we'll pick back up with Copperbell Mine at a later time. Again, I'm so sorry, guys, that they have to be short like this, but as you saw from the previous videos, the dungeons are very long. They can be long depending on the group you have. Some can be short and some can be very long. It just depends on your group. So unfortunately, I'm going to just say that this video is over for now, but we will pick back up again, like I said, with Copperbell Mines in the next video.